So welcome back, Tena. We are still having this amazing conversation with the Njathas. Nasema hiyo jina liingie kwa kichwa. Yeah. I'm doing good. The place, as you can see, bado tuko Doctors Executive Furniture. We'll keep saying this because this is an amazing space. You should come and check it out, manze. Any of their showrooms, I'm sure they have several, right? Yes, you can check them out on any of their showrooms, and they have beautiful furniture, including sofa beds. It's a si common in Kenya, by the way, but they're becoming common. So, Benjamin, look to have a conversation, and I asked when you decided to make the move to ask Mwende to become your wife after 6 months, and also for her, I had asked if she was ready she expected it at that soon. Or rather, was it a conversation that you guys had that led to it, or it was just a surprise?
Yeah. From the onset, I think Miss Kwenda, Mr. Rimingi, I just told her I want us to start a family. But again, that opened up that dating period. Yeah. So we were getting to know each other and seeing whether really it would work for us to start a family. Yeah. And then along the way, I thought it would be good to give her that honor of just giving her a decent proposal. I think ladies as well love that. And then just to make it something memorable. Okay. Yeah, so I began thinking about it, but I didn't want her to know that I'm going to do it. I didn't want her to figure out that at some point in time I'm going to propose to her. Yeah. So one day we were having just a chat, and I told her, we expect proposal, because you already know I want to marry you. So what more is there to it? Yeah. So I just kind of sidestepped her kidogo. And then later on, I got to buy a ring. And then I waited for the opportune moment. And then it dawned on me that we're going to have a graduation as we exit Bible school. Yeah. So that would have been the opportune moment, according to me. Yeah. So, and I was kind of sure I was going to be to have the valedictorian speech as the best student for that class. Yeah. I was working towards it. So I thought, as I'm giving my speech, then I would just probably ask the leadership if this is something they would be open to. And they were so excited because, of course, it speaks again well. It brings an excitement around the school. Yeah. So they allowed, and we orchestrated it. And I bought the ring, I kept it in the house, I was just looking at it. And the girl here knows Akuna story of proposal. And then, on 5th of December, during our graduation is when I proposed to her. I was carrying the ring in my pocket, ilikuwa imefura, but I was trying, akikuja hii side, najaribu kumzunguka hivi so that she doesn't see it. Yeah. But it went so well. Both our parents were there, our spiritual leaders were there, some of our mentors at that point were there, friends, and it was just an awesome moment. Okay. Yeah, so at that point, I think I was decided. I was settled that this is the girl that I just want to settle down with and do life together. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think every girl dreams of an amazing engagement. And for me, again, now going back to where I said that I had told God a couple of things, I had also told him how I would want my engagement to be. But now, sometimes we try to help God do stuff. Yeah. So I was trying to think of how I want my engagement to be. And now that I have met this guy in Bible school, like, they were not aligning. I was like, what? I don't know how this is going to happen, but I'm a firm believer that God fulfills our desires. Yeah. And especially concerning my marriage, I have always believed that God is going to fulfill the things that I'm asking for. So I had told God that I would want the guy who would marry me to propose in front of my parents, his parents, my pastors, and his pastors. And I had also told God that I want like a huge crowd of people to be there. Because in my mind, I knew that if a guy can go to that extent, then obviously he's serious about it. Like, he's not just joking. If he can go to that extent, he can do it. Now, we were from different churches, so I was trying to think, how is this thing going to happen? I just continue. How is this thing going to happen, really? And it happened exactly that, because in my graduation, during our graduation, of course there was a huge crowd of people. Then my parents were there, his parents were there, both our pastors were there, and it was a church setting. It was in church, just as I wanted it. So when he proposed, I wanted to run away, because I was like, God, again, this is happening again. Like, I mean, because I had never told anybody, even my best friend, like, nobody knew how I wanted my engagement. Nobody. And I had not even ever hinted to him on how I want my engagement. But remember when he said that, he texted me and told me, you already know I'm going to marry you, so I don't see the point of proposing. I was contemplating on leaving him. Because now I knew this is not adding up to the things I want. This is not our agreement with God. So like, what is this guy telling me? You know? But then I just told myself, I'm going to be patient, but let me see how this thing goes. But it was not adding up into my mind how we are just going to start planning our wedding, and this guy has not proposed to me. So on that, so at some point I was not expecting it from him. I was contemplating on how to exit and vamos.
like you're serious.
I had that contemplation, but it happened, and exactly just what I really wanted happened. And after a bit of running away, I just came back and said because I knew that I wanted this guy. I wanted us to do life, and I wanted to get married to him.
Wow. So I want to ask this, Benjamin, how tense were you at that moment? Like, your parents, her parents, the church. And did he go down on his knee?
Yes, he did. And you remember I said I first ran away, so I first ran away and left him there. But by the time I was coming back, you had stood.
No, I hadn't. Yes, I was just.
I hope there are pictures. We have pictures for this moment.
Yeah,
Probably. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll have to look at the archives.
We'll check. Yeah.
So it was, of course, it was surreal. It was a defining moment. I knew now at this point, there's no going back. There's no going back. It's now, this is it. So as I was doing my speech, I had to write that speech. I was not planning on writing the speech. I was planning, but now because of that, I needed to get my headspace so that I don't blunder on the speech. And then as I give a vote of thanks to the president of the school, now I come down because we had done a rehearsal, so I knew how the space was going to look. So I'll just come down and then make it look like I wanted to invite her as a friend, like just call her out of the crowd and say, I have this very special friend and me, but I didn't see how that was gonna work. So I just made my way as I'm talking. And then when I got to the aisle where she's seated, I just went down and flashed the ring and then asked her.
You started by thanking me
Yes.
for supporting you through school.
Yes.
So in my mind, I just thought he's saying thank you. So
Yeah.
I have been there with him.
Yeah. So then I popped the question, and then I'm popping the question. The chick is taking off, and I'm like, hey, tuko galitos ni.
I couldn't believe.
You know those ones for galitos where the guy is proposing and the lady is refusing and it's in town. Yeah. So I'm like, wow, is this it? So I'm just holding my fort, hoping she's gonna come back. And yeah, she reached on my knees, yeah, and with the ring like this. And she got to the end of the row and then turned and then came back, and the crowd was like, wow. And people were taking photos, and it was so colorful. I think on social media it's somewhere. Yeah, on social media I think the photos are there. Yeah. So it was really epic. It's a memorial I'll keep for so long. Wow. Yeah.
Okay. You didn't answer whether you expected it or it caught you by surprise because you ran. Okay. Wow.
The running was because I was like, "Yani God, you know, when you're in that moment of unanswered prayer, at first you're like, is this really happening?" Yeah. So for me, I was trying. I was trying to connect all these things. Remember the questions that I told God, I need Him to be knowing. Yeah. He did. Then this is happening like how I wanted it. So I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
You said that both your parents were present during that time. So I'm wondering, had Benjamin met your parents before? And had you met his parents before?
No.
I had told my dad.
Yeah.
Oh, you just had told your dad.
Yes. Yeah, and I had also told my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, you had met my mom. During when and you guys were even talking when you planned my surprise birthday at home, then you came home.
Wasn't that after?
It was after?
Yeah.
No.
Where Adi and Albana also came.
Yeah.
That was after.
Okay.
What I want to...
That was after because I had moved. I remember.
Oh, it was
I had
some
already
few
moved
days to our wedding.
Yes, I'd already moved to the house we were going to live in.
Yeah.
Now I want us to talk about the meeting the parents moment. It can be challenging for some people. You're wondering what to wear, how to shave, what shirt looks good, So I want to know from you guys, how was it now meeting each other's parents? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was that moment for graduating and the proposal was an icebreaker already.
Yeah.
So it was very easy for me to gel into a friendship with the mom. Yeah. And she also got to meet my dad. And then they got to talk, and I think that really helped a lot. So by the time I was saying, okay, now we are coming home. Yeah. It was in my dad's mind. He knew already who the lady is and what kind of person he's gonna meet. One of my brothers was present as well during the graduation. He had come with my dad, and then so from there we just took it, and the other family members just got to know her. So I think on that day I also got to meet her sister. Now plus the mom. So that conversation was easy. Then it was easy because the mom lived in Nairobi. My dad doesn't live in Nairobi. They are out in Ushago. So we would meet much more often. Like we'd go attend services together. And then there was this birthday she's talking about where we planned a surprise together with the mother and a few of my friends and went over to their place. So I think from that, the two families have had just quite a good friendship. Yeah.
And that bit you're asking about wearing, I think we just helped each other. Like for me to know what his family expects. Like those are some of the questions I asked him. Like what should I wear when I'm going there? Because like he knows his family best, and I know my family best. So we prepared each other, and we also prepared our family. Yeah.
And when you met the family, like when you went to his when you met his dad, was he alone or was it like a gathering like Benjamin analeta mtu?
It was like a gathering because there was the dad, there was his uncles, his the granddad, like it was everyone was there, but they were really amazing. Sababu alikuwa amenipigia debe, like he had talked really well of me, and so they're really awesome people. So I didn't have any hard time. For me, I didn't have a hard time.
On this other side,
For me, I really enjoyed getting to meet the people on the side. First of all, the mom and the sister got off to a very good relationship, and then now we went over to their shags. Got to meet the people there. It was very exciting, and now she comes from my lineage of pastors. Like the great grandfather was one of the people who welcomed missionaries in her area. So even when they had that, we have that calling. I do minister the gospel. Like it was a very welcome thing. I think that also was another icebreaker. It helped the relationship because the uncles, she has uncles and cousins who are pastors and are running churches. So the talking points were very easy to find. And I also love, I have this thing, I love old people. Like old people, 70s, 80s. I really love it. And so I found so many of those on that side. They're from our grandma, and then there was a certain old guy that we really connected. I remember even giving him an offering.
He was the best couple to my grandparents.
So
he was also there.
He was there, and we got to talk. He got to lay his hands on me, and so it was really awesome. Wow.
So now I want to know, between the time you proposed and the time you got married, what was that period? How many months in between, weeks?
So from December 5th to July 22nd. So December 5th to July 22nd. So that's around 7 months.
So now I'm asking that question is so that I can bring in the aspect of premarital classes. Like, did you have those classes? And according to you guys, are they important? Because I've met couples who, according to them, those classes are not important. Like, whatever they learned there is not applicable in their day-to-day life. Whether they don't want to apply it or they don't know how to apply it, but to them, it's a formality that our church requires you to do. That's why they did it. So from your perspective as the Njathas, was it important? Is there anything that you learned from those classes that you apply to your marriage, even now as we speak?
Premarital counseling is really important because it just opens up your eyes to a new perspective, and there's just something amazing hearing like another couple's story who have been in marriage for long and who are authentic. They share their struggles, they share what they how they tackled the issues that they had onwards, And so for us, we attended at ICC, and it was really amazing.
That is Mafuno.
No, ICC. And for us, we didn't attend because it was something that our church required or had. We were very intentional about it, because I also think the intention as to why you're attending something will also determine if you're going to get value from it or it's not. It's just going to be a waste of time. Because if you're attending because it's a requirement, it's like you've been forced into that thing. So for us, we went because we were open, and we have always been open to learning.
And there was a lot of things we we learned. Like for instance, and unlearned. Like for instance, we understood why there is conflict. We understood our personality types and differences, and now how to navigate that. We understood the whole issue around the in-laws and what to do, how to handle it. So it was very enriching, and that we also made friends.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a marriage enrichment forum and all that. So some of them, like, we keep contact up until now. I remember they even came when our baby was born. Yeah, all the way from Nakuru. They just came and visited and became a blessing to the baby. And it's just an awesome thing. For any person who wants to go into marriage, it's something we highly recommend. Go for premarital counseling. Have all those conversations, because it's going to really help.
Plus, do your research well on where you're attending the prima. Yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
It's important to get authentic couples, God-fearing couples, you know. Yeah, and couples who are open, that you may learn from their mistakes. Yeah.
I guess now, one thing in the 7 months that you guys that were leading to your marriage, I have not had any conversation on. I've not had you guys mention rorashio. I don't know if it's called rorashio. It's dowry, no, negotiations. So, did you guys have that? Okay, so let's talk about that. How was the planning? Let's have a conversation about your ratio. Kulikuanga na ile kufunikwa na shuka and then you look for the one.
Our ratio was very easy. Let me say easy.